But he soldiers on, aware that they're on the hunt for the highest profile target of their careers. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, the man who orchestrated Pearl Harbor, who flaunted that he'll negotiate peace at the White House. The American squadron presses on, the shore of Bougainville coming into view. Rex Barber scans the skies. Intelligence had been very specific. 1 Betty bomber and 2 flights of 3 Zeros. Right here, right at this time. Their plan is simple and calculated. 12 Lightnings are going to climb high and cover them from above. The plan of Operation Vengeance. While remaining P-38s, a 4-man killer group, will focus entirely on the bomber of the target. They almost reach Bougainville when the radio signal comes in. Bogies! 11 o'clock high! As if on cue, an enemy formation emerges between the clouds. 6 Zeros, however, not 1, but 2 Betty bombers. American pilots are taken captive. Their plan is falling apart. Which one of them is Yamamoto's? We'll have to take them both. The formation slams their throttles to fall, charging into battle. All around Barber, 12 of his squad mates climb rapidly into the sky, taking position as top cover, before chosen to confirm the daring charge. There's more problems. First Lieutenant Rex Barber is dropped in his arm coming off. Give me a second, I'll tear my tanks off. Barber is nervous to see Holmes dive out of formation, picking up speed to shake off the tanks. Ray, go with him. Follows to protect them, cutting the killer's flight numbers in half. Their chances are worse than ever. They have double the targets and half the fighters. The attack starts. Yamamoto is right in front of them. Hell would freeze over before the American pilots let him go. Yamamoto is on his way to visit one of the 4 operating airfields around Bougainville with 8 of his officers, and among them is his second loyal chief of staff, Matomi Ugaki. Ugaki is dozing off in his seat when unexpectedly one of their Zero escorts races past and slows right in front of his Betty's nose, shaking his wings. Confused, Ugaki takes a closer look and realizes the pilot is waving his hand, frenetically pointing at something. Then suddenly the radio operator shouts for the pilot to dive, and the Betty breaks into an abrupt, evasive maneuver. The officers all hang on for dear life as the Japanese bomber plunges into a desperate dive. Ugaki is trying and failing to spot Yamamoto's aircraft. Outside, 3 Zeros die for the pair of incoming P-38s, desperate to stop the attack. One breaks formation, climbing to attack the Japanese fighters head-on, and leaving Barber to charge in alone. Lamphere opens fire and the Zeros respond in kind, with tracers crisscrossing in the sky. Lamphere is unfazed as low-caliber guns strike him in the wings, the sounds reverberating through the fuselage like hail. He holds the trigger down, unleashing his weapons until the Zeros are forced to pull off from the collision course. Barber, though, carries on, leaving the melee behind. Before him, the 2 Bettys separate in opposite directions. He picks one at random and gives chase. Pick a Betty bomber and attack, but he's not alone. Suddenly, a tracer streaks past just in front of his cockpit. A Zero from Lamphere's fight has chased him down as firing in from above. The tracers continue to zip past his windshield. He fights the urge to pull away and aims his sights square on the bomber. Barber pulls the trigger and unleashes a hail of 50 caliber and 20 millimeter fire. The shells rip through the enemy aircraft, parts fall away from the engine cowling, and a plume of oil pours out of the machine. But Barber is relentless. He holds the trigger down, even as he hears and feels his own aircraft being hit from behind. He'll have to take this bomber even if it's the last thing he ever does. But then the Zero hounding him roars past, giving him a few vital moments of reprieve. Barber takes a better aim and continues dismantling the bomber, tearing it apart as he chases it all the way down to treetop height. Then suddenly, the bomber pulls up out of control and rolls in the air. Barber immediately dodges, barely missing the bomber's wing as it tumbles out of control and crashes into a tree below, exploding into a massive fireball. Barber looks back over his shoulder to see a column of black smoke rising from the green. It's down. What's next? He sets off for the next one. The Zeros attack, but 3 more Zeros intercept him from above. They open fire and Barber dodges, diving away for speed as he listens to the enemy bullets, striking the wings and tail, the crackle of impacts echoing through the fuselage. Barber skims the treetops, dodging left and right in a desperate fight for survival. The 3 enemies are refusing to ease up.